ask you something. We talked before the camera was rolling. There was a period of time where, okay, of course, you came in the state a year after I did. You came in 08, right?
08, yes.
Yeah, I came in 07. And you said there was a period of time in there where you wasn't here. Most people don't make it to finish.
You're absolutely right.
You know, because you go back, start making some money, and then life happens, and you know you never make it back to finish that one thing you started. What in that time? What gave you the motivation to actually come back and finish?
What gave me the motivation was I won a teaching job. I was getting ready to get signed and everything. Just didn't have the papers. Did not have that degree.
Oh, wow. Wow.
They loved everything that I brought to the table. It just didn't have their degree, and you have to take it. You know, I had to bite I was just like, man, it is what it is. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go back and finish it.
Wow.
Because I wanted to teach. I wanted to impact people. I can't then say, oh, I'm going to teach a class and tell the kids, go to college. And I didn't finish college.
Right.
You know, it doesn't...
It doesn't the same credibility.
It doesn't. It's not even about the credibility. It doesn't make sense. How can you tell somebody to go do something if you haven't experienced it yourself? To tell them and to then be able to help them and say, okay, well, as you're doing this, these are the necessary steps that have worked for me. It may not work for you, but I know enough that I have been able to accomplish it and be able to help you accomplish the same goals.
Have a different connection.
Exactly.
Versus someone who never been through that.
Exactly.
That path or
exactly. It's like somebody who hasn't been how do I say it? It's like what's the perfect way to say this? It's like someone who has never swum across a river tell you that you can swim across the river, and they can't even swim. Oh yeah, bro, you could do it. You could do it. You believe him, and you be in the middle drowning.
Right.
But if you've seen them do it,
and
they say you can do it, you can then ask them, how am I able to do it? Or how were you able to do it? So that I can then learn the techniques to be able to do it.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. So how big is, because two things I want to touch on. First thing I want to touch on is the environment that created this positivity, because that experience happened to you. Did you have to change your environment versus the first time you were here, then the second? Because I know your mindset changed.
Yes,
but sometimes your environment. Because I'm be honest with you, when I started to get serious about music here, one thing that Dr. Beckford used to tell me is you have to create your own level of accomplishment, because your environment might not do that for you. Absolutely right.
I agree with that 100%. For me, the change in the mindset came from taking a China bus from New York to South Carolina. What the China bus is, it's the cheapest way to travel, interstate wise. And traveling from New York to South Carolina was a 15-hour ride, almost 16 hours. You spend $60. You're on the bus with, drug dealers, drug abusers, alcohol abusers, and it's the cheapest form. So you're constantly being seen by this. And I used to tell myself, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. And I used to use those rides to kind of like just, get lost in my thoughts. And I forgot to add, I watched a documentary called The Secret, and it changed my life. I believe in God. I still believe in God 100%. And what The Secret did for me was just use God in a different word. The Secret uses the universe. I believe God is the universe. God is the one who does everything. Right. So when I watched that documentary, it's like, wow, it's something clicked. It's about putting the thoughts out there. And when you pray, that's a thought that you're putting out to God.
That's true.
And we pray every day so that God can answer our prayers. Right. So what I started to do was I started to pray, and I started to, get lost in my thoughts of where I want to be, who I see myself with, the circles.
It's a form of meditation.
Exactly, form of meditation. Because when you're on a 15-hour ride, you're not sleeping 15 hours. You're looking at grass and looking at the same thing. And your mind has no choice but to wander.
Right.
Now, the quality of your thoughts, like I said, your thoughts become your habits. Your habits become your lifestyle.
Right.
And after seeing my life going down this route that I didn't want it to go down this route, something had to change. Denzel Washington, he said, if you want to accomplish something that you've never accomplished, you got to do something that you've never done before.
Right.
And when he, I started to watch a lot of inspirational things and started to take these nuggets because I started to realize these are people just like myself. And when you're able to then say, oh, he's a person just like myself. He's a person like myself. He's a person. You're comparing yourself to them, but you're not comparing yourself in a negative way, in a positive way to say that if he's able to accomplish this, I can identify. It's like LeBron James, one of my favorite basketball players. You look at LeBron James come from a single home, all of that, everything, all of the odds stacked against him. And you see what he has done with himself right now and opening a school and all these good things. Why is it that another kid from a different state or different country or, different continent who may have that same upbringing and has read LeBron's story and seen LeBron's growth, why can't they get inspired by that? Why can't they then turn and be that? Because at the end of the day, we are all people.
That's true.
So with that understanding, that's how I was able to change my mentality. And when I came back down to South Carolina, never forget, I passed the practice test for the 5th time, finally. Well, the 5th time I took it, I finally passed it. And I came back, I said, this semester, I am really going to apply myself and I'm not going to hang out with anybody. I'm going to go to class, come home, be in my room. And if I'm bored, I'm going to stay in my room until I find something to do.
Wow.
With my time.
That's discipline.
You got to discipline yourself. You must discipline yourself. And I got into the habit of going to the gym, exercising 5 days a week. Because once you start exercising, you exercise not only your body, but your mind. Because you're not going to feel motivated to go to the gym every single day.
That's true.
There are going to be days where you're going to be like, man, I don't even feel like exercising right now. I don't feel like doing this. But those are the days where you actually need to go. And those are the days where you actually grow the most. Wow. So that discipline comes in. So that whole semester, I stayed in my room. I also then didn't cut my hair for the whole semester. I was one of those people who every week, every Thursday, I got a shape up. Because I wanted to clean. Appearance is everything. It was everything to me. I wanted to appear clean. I want to be clean. That's the way I was raised. So I said, you know what? I'm not gonna cut my hair. And it bothered me. After the first week, I want to cut it. But then, as time during the semester started to pass, I started to then be able to use that energy. Like, I want to cut my hair. To say, you know what? Let's transfer this energy.
It's a form of
Pick
fasting.
up a book.
That's a form of fasting.
Form of fasting. Pick up a book. Read something. To pass the time, get something going. And when I finally got the okay that I was going to graduate, it was like, wow, I can finally cut my hair. I have earned this.
Big win.
It was a big win. It was a big win.
That's huge to have something like, it's almost like you're denying yourself of something until you reach a certain point in your life. And now it have a more significant meaning.
Yes. Everything that we do, not everything that we do. We want to be successful at something. It requires some form of sacrifice.
I agree.
So
I agree.
There is no success without sacrifice. And that's that.
Last question.
Yes, sir.
I know you're very in touch with your family. Family's big. It's big to you. It's huge for me. The difference that you have is the fact that you know where your roots come from in Ghana. I don't have that. The only thing that I know about my family is that my family didn't come here as slaves.
Gotcha.
But I don't know exactly, I can't go back to where my family is from. How big is knowing your roots and your background and like your father's, their journey? How implanted is to your traditions and the things that you do on a daily basis? How does that differ from maybe someone who don't know maybe not know their father or their mother, or don't know their grandparents and stuff like that, don't know what the traditions of their family is? How big is that for your life?
In my life, family is everything. Friends come and go. And it's like there's certain people you'll meet who are not blood, but after a certain amount of time of you knowing them, they become family.
Oh, for sure.
And it's that same concept. But to answer your question, knowing where I come from gave me the foundation, the blueprint to know where I want to go. It's like history. If you don't know your history, you don't know where you want to take, how you're going to move forward, how you're going to change.
That's true.
It's the push and pull with change and tradition.
That's true. That's true.
So, with knowing that I'm from Africa, knowing that my family's from here, all of these different things, it definitely helped me to understand, one, the discipline, because I'm not like everybody. I grew up with both parents in the house. So I got the love and the tender care from my mom, and then I got the discipline and the rigidness from my dad.
What we call law and grace.
Exactly.
In the house.
Exactly. So what that then happens is that with kids who don't come up with both parents in the house, sometimes, not all the time, that love that they need from a father, that hard knock love that they need from a father, it's not there.
Right.
And that becomes a void.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that is I believe one of the killers in our society.
It is.
In not being able to have people have a structure as to where they're from, where they're going. And it goes back to the history of slavery in this world. They stripped everything from us, but look at how far we've come.
Right. Right.
We're people of resilience. We're people of forward thinking.
Right.
And having my parents in my life was just, if I didn't have my parents in my life, I don't know where I'd be. I don't know. That's just it. And
I agree.
I know that it makes me, privilege is not the right word. Blessed to have both of them in there. But it doesn't mean that somebody who comes from a single home cannot have the same qualities that I have.
Right.
And somebody who comes from a single home could have a chip on the shoulder and be really saying, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I get this done.
Right.
And that's that.
Right. Right. So do you have any special traditions that you hold hard because of where you come from? Is there something that you do, or just your sense of accomplishment is something that you feel like you bring back home to your family, as in your family name?
In our family name, we grew up with the tradition of before you leave the house in the morning, everybody sit down together and you pray.
Oh, that's big.
And it's something that it has helped me through everything, because a family that prays together stays together.
Oh, for sure.
And if I didn't have my mom, hey, wake up, it's time to go pray.
That was my dad.
Yeah, if I didn't have that, I'd be lost. Spiritually, I'd be lost.
Yeah.
And I think that's where society, because you don't have that fundamental, setting and tradition.
Right.
That's where things go haywire. And for me, it's praying together is it. It's it. We didn't always sit together to eat dinner because of different schedules. But even in Africa, when we woke up in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, everybody wake up.
Wow.
You pray, and then if you want to go back to sleep, then you go back to sleep. Or if you got school to do, then you go to school. But that was one thing that I'm gonna teach to my kids, and I'm gonna pray and make sure that my kids teach to their kids, and it keeps going, because that tradition was taught to my parents and to their parents and to their parents.
Right.
So
that's huge.
Yeah, definitely
that's
is.
Huge. We can stop right there, man, because that's big. Thank you, Eganam, for definitely taking time out of your schedule and being a part of the Black Couch Show. So if you like this video, definitely hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, do you have a YouTube channel or anything? Yes,
my YouTube channel is Everything EGO, EverythingEGO.com. But that's my website too as well. I'm sorry, but that's my YouTube channel, and I'm in the process of putting some more new stuff on there as well. So a lot of things coming. But I do want to say thank you for having me. I'm very grateful to be able to share my story and possibly inspire somebody who's watching it. So it's been an honor. Thank you so much, my brother.
My man.
God bless you.
Take it easy.